Heidi ho, my crafty friends. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. So today we are going to start a new journal from an old book. Now, I don't think this book is really that old, but I got it at our local, like Goodwill or something like that. Let's see what it says. That's from 2000. So 25 years of, nope, 26, sorry. I'm having trouble with the year change still. So 26 years old. It's in good shape, and it's called A Place in the Country by Laura Shane Cunningham, and I really like the cover of it. And I don't want to damage the side here. So we're going to do a hidden spine in this book. So we're going to take out, but I don't know that I want to keep this, because I'm going to cover this, I think, but I'm not sure yet. So to take out your book block, now the first thing you need to make sure when you're looking for books, now let me show you, is you want to make sure that your book block isn't glued in to your book. See, I can get my finger back here like this. So you want to make sure that your book isn't glued in to your book block. Like, I can take my ruler and I can, as long as my ruler is not too wide, let me use my smaller one. I can take my ruler, my little tiny one here, and I can slide it all the way down. So my book block isn't glued to my spine, okay? So when you're looking for books to use, you know, stick your finger in there and you'll be able to tell the difference. If this is glued to your spine, it'll look like this, okay? And you won't see that little piece right there? You won't see that. That is what holds all these pages together with everything else, okay? So you'll see that when you're buying books. Now, you'll also see, when I take this out, you'll see it. So to take this out, I'm just going to use my little craft knife, and I'm going to turn these last two pages over, and I'm going to stand it up, and I'm going to see the best place to start. Now, this book is in excellent shape here. Okay. And I'm going to start next to the book block, okay? I'm starting next to the book block, not the spine. And I've got my finger against the spine and pulling it back. Now, if you do happen to puncture the spine, it's no big deal. There are ways to fix it. So, you know, don't panic. My very first book I did puncture the spine right at the bottom. I was so scared, actually, I had my husband did it, and he sliced this through the spine right across the bottom like that. I about had a heart attack because I didn't know if I could fix it, and I had picked out my favorite book. It took me over an hour to pick out my favorite book in the store, and I was so scared. It was like, well, now what do I do? So, you know, I had to figure out what to do. Okay, so I've done one side. Now I've done the other. So this is what holds your books together. It's book tape. Here's the book tape. And here's the glue. Right here. This little tape I keep because I use them. And I'm going to use them on our new one. Okay, so I'm going to pull this off. And I'm going to pull these off. Now, sometimes they're easier to get off than others. You know, it depends on how wet the glue was, I guess. I've been able to get them off easier on some books than others, but I like to use them. I have some from books from the 1930s. You know, I try to keep them from all the books that I make. There. They're called headbands. And I like to use them. And when I use books, I like to use them when I make the new book. So these are going to sit right up in here on top of my shelves. Now, here's your book block. Okay? Books aren't made this way anymore. If you took apart an old book, you would see mesh and paper. Like, I think I have an old book I can show you the difference. I want to show you the difference here. I think it's this one. It is literally coming apart at the seams. Yep. This one right here. It's My Secret Garden book. And this book is 1911 is when this one was published. Now this is just paper, and you can see down here, right down here, where they stitched all the signatures together, right there. And then here is all the paper, or all the like what we would call cheesecloth or some type of mesh, and then they put paper over it. See, it's right here. And then they put paper over it. See, here it is right here. And then it was glued. And I love this book, and I'll probably never use it to make a book with. It'll stay in my private library, but I love it. And I say that, and then one day you'll see me making a book out of it. But that's how they look. Okay, so on to our book. So we don't need this. So now we have this, okay? So now I need to trim this, okay? I need to trim it or glue it down. So let's see what I have here. Okay, so I'm not going to cut this off. We're going to leave this. So I can glue this down. No, I don't need that right now. So let's get our glue. I think they can want to be glued down. So let's go on and glue this down. Let's glue that back over here. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing over here. Now it's going to take a minute for it to catch. Now sometimes depending on the age of the paper, you'll see me cut it off. But this is new, so I don't need to do that. And if you're having trouble getting it to stick, you can turn it upside down and put it against your mat for a minute. You know, and put something on top of it, and that'll help it stick. Yeah, which is what I think I'm going to do here for a minute while we get everything else together. So I'm going to put my book making box on top of it. Okay, now out of this book, there will be pages that I keep out of it and use in the upcoming book. Like, I'm going to use these pages. So I want to make sure that I keep these because they have the name, they have the year, and I'll just attach them, you know, and then I'll look through it, and I might coffee dye some of the other pages to use in the book. I don't really see any other artwork or anything like that. Just this front page that I want to keep. Okay. So the rest of it we'll just use. Now I pulled this page out to use for sizing. And all of our pages would just be the size of a regular 8.5 by 11 page folded in half. So lucky us, we don't have to do any trimming, at least on pages that are that size. So I'll keep that page. Now, this is just bookboard, and this is the length that I need to make my spine for a hidden spine. And in a minute, we're going to figure out the width, because I'm going to use this, and I'm going to show you how I do that. So I take my book block. Okay, here's my book block, and I measure this to get the width that I need. Now, this isn't always 100% accurate, because this needs to fit inside here. Okay. So I need to make sure when I put that in there, so I need to make sure that when I cut this, it is exactly this size. I know the length of it's correct, but I need to make sure that it's exactly that size. So I'm standing it up on my book board, and I'm drawing my pencil right flush up against it. Now, if you're not sure about something, then make it just a little bit too big, because you can always cut it down. Okay? Now, with a metal ruler, don't use plastic, use metal, you're going to cut this. Don't use a plastic ruler if you're using your big knife. If it slips, you're going to hurt yourself. So I'm going to line it up. Let's bring it over here to the corner. Now, you know what? Do I want to do this before I cut it? No, I'll do it after I cut it. Now, my book board is fairly thick, so it's going to take me a couple of swipes here to go through it. Okay, it's telling me it's through. Now, I'm going to go across my bottom here. Okay, so there it is. Oops. Now, before I go any further, I need to check this. Because if it's not right, there's no sense doing anything else. Okay, good. Underneath here is where all the support's going to go. So let me get this off the table. Okay, so underneath this, I'm going to put, let me grab it here. Whoops. There's going to be cheesecloth under here, and then we're going to decorate this, and we're also going to put fabric here. So let's do some decorating on this, because I don't want that just to show up just as a, you know, as you're flipping through the book. It just is a plain old piece of cardboard. Now this is a 1-inch spine right here. This is 1 inch. So let's see what we're going to use here. So I'm going to go on and get out my wipes, because you all know I'm going to need them. I think we're going to start with that. We're going to use Scorched Timber. We're going to use that. What else do you think we can use? I think we're going to use black for that. And I wonder if I have any teal. Anything close to a teal color. You know, to match the book. Possibly I do. Possibly. It's not really a teal. It's kind of it's on the green side. You know what I mean? Let's see what we got here. That's wild honey. That's tea dye. Apparently I don't. Well, Lori, what were you thinking, girly girl? Okay, here's... we use the little one. Now, I want ink. I don't want oxide for the black. I want ink. Okay. Now, I also have... Well, maybe these are more on that color. Oh, that one might work. Let's see. No, that's too blue. All right, these are still too blue. Okay, those won't work either. Okay, so let's see. What are we going to stamp on there? Okay, we don't need our knife. I think we're going to use our big stencil. Maybe get some texture on there. And do you guys remember? Hold on. It's right here. I think we're going to use some of this one on there. You know, it's kind of small, so we're not going to see a whole lot of it. But I think we're going to use some of that. So I think we need to get started here, don't you? All right, so under here, now let's put something under here. You know what? This one, looking at this one, it might work. Shabby Shutters might work. It's a little green, but it might work. We'll sneak it in there and see. So I think here, what else we got here? We got maybe some hickory smoke would do. What else we got sliding in up here? Maybe some gathered twigs. Give us a couple of different brown shades. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Let me move some things out of the way so I can get to our brown. All right. So I'm going to start on this, and I'm just going to add a little bit of background to it. I'm not going to make it real dark. Now this is what is this? Gathered twigs I'm doing here. And now this is the vintage photo. Okay, now let's add some of the Scorched Timber. Okay, so now let's maybe slide some of our green in there. Let's get out our green one. Where are you, big guy? Let's see how this works here. I don't know if she'll show. Oh, yeah, she's showing up a little bit. Just a little bit. Not my favorite, but a little bit. What's this one? Let's try a little bit of bundled sage on top of her. Oh, I think I like that one better. Okay. Now, let's add the... All right, let's get the green back in here so it doesn't pick up any of those browns. Now, I want to take... Is this the black? No, this is the black. I want to put the black around the edges. I know, I'm being crazy. Because you will see the edges on this. I don't know, what do you think? Because it's coming up a little bit. That's not too bad, is it? It's kind of sneaking up, huh? Maybe after we get some of the black stamps on there, it won't be too bad. Okay, let's do some of the black stencil. Now let's put that away. I don't want that in here. Now, I'm pretty sure I have black. If not, we're going to designate one. Guess I don't. All right, come on. You've become for your stencils too. Okay, I think I want to use, do we want that? I don't know. Do we want that? I don't think we do. I don't think that's really gonna show up very well. I'm sorry, I bumped you again, didn't I? I don't think that's gonna do what we want it to do. I'm looking for that other stencil that we like. Hold on, let me find it here. Maybe we want this. Maybe we want some of this instead. I think we want some of this instead. Yeah, I think I like this instead. Let's just give it some of that. Now I want to do some of this. Now, I also have, ooh, my chair's squeaking. And where's the, Now, we're also going to use that one. Okay, let's start. Let's try and start here with the middle. And then pick up a little bit over here. Okay, now I think I need to I should have done my words in one of those dark brown colors. Oops, I think I would like that better. Because right now, I'm not liking it. I should have done that, my words, in one of the dark brown. It wouldn't take away from this stamp. And I would see it better. Well, you know what we can do? We're going to turn it over. Because I think that's what we're going to do. Because I really don't like that. And I think we're going to do it the next time in a Scorched Timber or something like that. So let's try this again, shall we? Did I put that on the right one? Yeah, I did. Okay, now let's try. You know what? Let's try it in gathered twigs. Yeah, I think I like that. It's just kind of, you know, there. It's not really jumping out and saying, read me, I'm the book. Yeah, I like that much better. Okay. Much, much better. Much better. Much, much better. Okay, now let's do this. Now here it is. Oh, see, doesn't that look much better? much, much better. There we go. Much, much, much better. Okay, yes, I like that much better. Now we'll do those little butterflies. If I had a little bird, I think I might even like that, but I don't. So we'll do those little butterflies. Now I'm going to let that dry before I put it away. Come on, straighten up. All right, let's do this little butterfly here. There we go. I like that so much better. So much better. Okay. Okay, now let's put you over there and you over there. Okay, so now around the edges, I don't want to use that. Now around the edges, I want to put, I'm going to use my Sizzix Gold, is that luster wax. And of course I'm going to get my fingers all yucky. So I'm going to need to get out another wipe, because I got to wipe my hands after I use it. Okay. Ugh, got it all up under my fingernail. I can feel it. And go, whoops, go all the way around here. Like this. Now this is going to be a multi-part series. Today is going to be the cover. We're going to get the cover ready, and I'm going to try to keep these fairly short. We're just getting the cover prepared today, so you guys can do yours, and we'll do this together. Now, if you don't have what I have, use what you have. You don't have this luster wax, that's all right. You don't need to have it. I just have it, and I'm trying to use things that I have. You know, because otherwise it just sits and it doesn't get used. Okay, so there's that. All right, so let's get this wiped off. You know, I got to tell Sizzix, that really smelled good. Now, I will list below the supplies that I use, the colors of Oxide and this luster wax. I'll make sure I leave that out so I can do that for you. Okay. Now, let's put these away. And let's put that away. Now, the stamps that I just used, the butterfly and this one, they are Stampers Anonymous, and they come from the Nature's Discovery, and they are CMS 049. And the other one, this one, is Stampers Anonymous, and it's called Ledger Script CMS 241, and they will also be listed below for you. Okay, so those go up there. Now, I need to let this dry, my luster wax dry a little bit before I mess with it, but it's going to sit in here. Now, in here, let me get my hands wiped off here. I am going to go on and put this because I want it to dry. Now, if you don't have, oops, get in there. Now, I want to show you the package and what this looks like. That is what the package of cheesecloth looks like, and I just get mine in Walmart, and it's in the, I think it's in the canning aisle, so that would be like in Home Goods or something, and there are 2 pieces, total of 4 yards, and it's just a couple of dollars, and as I've told you before, in each of the squares is 2 square yards, so it's a lot. When I coffee dye it, I just take the whole pack out and I just shove it down into my it's a big measuring cup like this. I just shove it down into, and I just let it sit there for a little while, and then I take it outside and I just let it sit there all bundled up, and I don't do anything with it. I just let it dry outside. So I do mine when it's nice outside, and that's how I get all the different colors. I don't put it in the oven because I've been known to walk away from the oven, and that's not usually a good thing. Now, I don't want the tea dyed. I want the coffee dyed because it's a little bit darker. Now, if you do it and you don't like the color, you can do it again after it's done. This one's tea dyed. This is coffee dyed, so there is just a little bit difference in color. I prefer the coffee dyed because you get a little bit darker in color. And you can see by the little wrinkles that I didn't unfold it. I didn't do anything with it. Okay. Okay, here, so. Now, don't glue this into your book. This is going to be a hidden spine. So this will not get glued into your book until after we've finished with making our signatures, okay? So don't jump ahead and glue this into your book. Okay, so I'm going to put this here. Let me just cut a piece off here. Oh, dear, these scissors need cleaned. They won't even cut cheesecloth. That's terrible. Now, if you don't like the smell of coffee, you can put a little bit of, now I usually put 2 or 3, like my big, this great big measuring cup is 2 cups of coffee. When I make 2 full big cups of coffee, I put about a half a teaspoon of vanilla in it. And that takes away that strong coffee scent. So you can do that, and that will take away that strong coffee scent that people don't like. Now, I'm just going to use my original tacky glue for this. And I'm going to run this. I'm going to go across here, and I'm going to run this right down through here. Now, it does take a couple minutes to get it running, because tacky glue is quite stubborn sometimes. But it is cold in my room today because it is snowing. Now, after you get your glue in, you want to make sure you spread it out. You don't want to leave it, see how I'm putting it on. You don't want to leave it like this. You want to spread it out with your finger. So I take my finger and I spread it out like this. It's just glue. You can wash your hands. It's okay. It's not going to hurt you. And with tacky glue, you got a couple minutes or seconds. You don't have minutes. Don't take that long. Okay, now I'm going to trim. Oh, are these the right ones? Yes. I'm going to trim over here. And now I'm going to show you where I'm trimming here. Okay, do you see where this paper stops at the book? Those are your guidelines, your paper and your book board. Your paper and your book board, okay? Those are your guidelines. So if you're decorating the inside of your book and you're putting fabric, you're putting decorative papers, whatever you're doing, those are the guidelines for them. That's where they sit. Okay, and now this has to sit and dry, so don't do anything else to it. Just after you get it on, let it sit and let it dry. Now, I am going to decorate the inside of my book, so all of this needs to sit and dry. Oops, I forgot to do down here. So this will be part 1. Part 2 will be our signatures. And we're going to decorate the inside of our book. Here we go. Okay, so now all of this has to dry. All of this in the center has to dry. I can't do anything else with the center of my book until it dries. All that has to dry. Okay, so when we come back in our next video, all of this will be dry, and we can continue with the inside covers and the outside of the cover. And then we'll also put our signatures in. So that should give you time to get your book ready so that you can create a journal too. And we'll create a journal together. So far, this is what we have. We have this that's going to sit here. And let me show you the fabric here. And this is my fabric that's going to sit on the inside right there. And it's also going to sit on the back. And it's going to sit there. Alrighty then. Well, I want to thank you guys for joining me today as we begin our new journal. And I hope that you create one with me, and that this will be done in a manner that you feel confident and that you feel that you can do it too. Now, like I said, it's going to be done step by step so that you can have some fun in creating it and you don't feel overwhelmed and you don't feel like that you can do it. So this is step 1 in creating our journal. And step 2 will be creating the outside and getting our signatures in. So until that time, I'll see you again in our next Ladybug Journals video. Ta-ta for now.